You are now listening to the Noir podcast. I'm your host, Chukudi. And with me is my co-host,
Chidi.
So, you guys are going to love this one. We have the one and only RIZZ. Welcome to the pod, bro.
No pressure or anything.
Introduce yourself. Tell us like who you are, like what you do. Like,
I suck with introductions, but hi guys.
Why are you blushing, bro?
Yeah, I'm shy it's not easy.
yeah, not easy, man.
I'm RIZZ. My degree says I'm a lawyer.
That's crazy.
But my day to day, man, I just do whatever brings me money.
But you know what's funny? Like, we've had so many lawyers already.
What's the lawyer size?
Like, we had...
like last
guys that have studied law.
Fair enough.
Even Enrique studied law.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
But I guess practicing.
I don't think we've had any practicing lawyer here, man. Or maybe like it changed, like, as we go.
Fair enough, actually.
But like, I don't know why guys are not practicing anymore. Like,
bro, law is a sham. Yeah.
Like, I was thinking about it, man. Like, this country, how you even study law in this country anymore? Like,
do you know what?
A
lot of guys are made to do it. Like, and if you're not passionate about it, you can't work there full time.
It's a passion subject, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, a passion subject.
You know, I was even yarning, like, because I just finished doing an internship last month. So, like, you know, you have all these lawyers that guy, they're in the office till like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Some even sleep in the office kind of p.m. And like, for me, I was yarning like my fellow interns because they told us 9 to 5. And then you have people doing most diligent, coming the next morning, say, I was in the office till like 6:30. I said, see, that thing over time, unless I see the money, unless you come to me prior and say, okay, if you stay past 5, I'll pay you X amount per hour. What's my business, man? That's tomorrow's issue.
Yeah, speaking about like offices here, I always see this shit and like, I'm thinking about, I don't have a babe here, but I'm thinking about if I have a babe, guys, she's going to probably have a work husband, bro. Like,
it's so crazy to say.
I'm thinking about it already, like, that's so crazy.
Bro, the officer I've been looking for, like, where to do my NYSC.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just sit down and I'm like, I really wonder who my work wife will be. It's actually a deal breaker for me. I won't lie to you, like,
yeah, I need motivation to go to work, man. Like,
yeah, any reasons other than it does not work. On a day to day,
I need like someone that's going to like,
that lunchtime who's sitting across from you guys.
Yeah, there was this thing on Twitter where like one babe asked like another, like she was asking a couple of babes in the office like, oh, if like the wig you want is 300k, how much are you going to tell your man it is? So she now went around and like asked all the babes. And like somebody now quoted the tweet like, guy, your productivity will be so off, man. No distractions.
Guy, the babes in that video, man.
Can we talking about crazy videos? Twitter is not the one, bro.
Like, it was very like, okay, I won't say you remember bad this, you get. So if you go to that kind of office, like, you're going to be productive, you get, like, there are no like distractions.
There's no
distractions, but yeah, that was just funny, man.
No,
but like on that video, like, you're asking babes like, oh, if your wig is like, is it
like 300k,
what will you bill your husband or your boyfriend? And guys were saying like over the amounts basically. And I'm not thinking like, if your babe did that to you and you found out, like, how would you feel? Did you get what I'm saying?
I can't lie, like, there was a period where like I was with a babe and like I was just like, let me I was feeling, you know, rich. I said, let me fund your lifestyle. Cool. So like
you're sick.
I'll be like, oh, you know, how much is the hair? She'll give me an amount. I don't know whether maybe that was the real amount or whatever. And I'll be like, okay, then I'll give her extra, like go and get your nails done or whatever. So like to me, like, I don't know, I create like, for you to still lie to me after that, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you were born a thief. Like,
can I come clean about something?
Just I would like how you say it. I would like how you say that.
I feel like it's karma, and I'll tell you why.
Oh yeah.
You need textbooks. £100. And you might just say your pops. 450. 450 is crazy. 450 is crazy.
Extra 350
for you down the road.
Comes around, dog. Like,
but like, I feel like like I want to have a relationship with my babe where she doesn't even have to fucking lie. Like, do you get? I feel like if you're lying to your man, that means like you already know that he's already like frugal or something. Do you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I don't even think it's that. It's just like, especially when I don't know, like, well, like, especially when the relationship settles and like y'all are no longer like infatuated by each other, but it's still a calm relationship, right? There might be some stuff like your babe spends on that you downright think is stupid. Like, for example, now let's say she wants to do her hair cool, but she wants to buy like, I don't know, something you don't agree with that like left up to you if you knew. You're like, guy, this doesn't make sense, kind of thing.
Yeah, sense.
So like, just to avoid that whole argument, pedo, finesse you out of some just
to play devil's advocate though, like as a babe, if your guy always gives you exactly how much you ask for, I feel like that's where it starts. Do you get? So in a situation where like they ask you for 300, for 300 here, if as a guy you take initiative and you do 500, there's never going to really be a reason. For a normal babe.
But do you know how wild that is? You've always given her double what she asked in this economy as well, fam. Like,
I don't have a babe. I'm talking about this. It's not to me, but like generally speaking, I feel like that's where it starts from.
Fair enough. But like with this whole work husband, P, real husbands have been moving kind of wild on the tail. I can't lie.
Let's not start this year.
Jesus Christ, man.
So like, obviously, you guys have seen the Married Men RIZZ online so far. For our listeners that might not know what that is, like, can one of you just talk about it, Chidi?
So basically, someone like posted on Twitter and they were like, oh, like drop your Married Man RIZZ. And bees were basically like dropping like conversations they've had with like married men. And like, my mind was like, obviously everybody knows Lagos, like this shit happens. And not even Lagos, like everywhere in the world, like this shit happens. Like married men flirting with like younger women normally. But like actually seeing the receipts was so crazy. And like I feel like for me, like the standouts was like they are so brazen. Like they don't give a fuck. Like most of them were like, I'm a married man and do you get what I'm saying? Like that's one guy, what?
Guy, do you know that like last weekend, when this P was on my tail, like I'd never laughed so hard. Bro, like there was one guy that was texting a babe now, and he was like, my wife is on her way to your workplace to come and beat you.
But don't find her. She's pregnant.
She was not like, basically, what's this rubbish? She said, I love you too. Please just
you can roll. No. You guys. You see those tweets? I've never felt worse for our like gender in my life. In my life.
But do you know something that's crazy? From everything I saw, that's 100% success ratio, though.
Yeah, you guess.
Like,
would you actually get? Like,
I didn't have that conversation.
But for real, like, I didn't see any rejections.
Guy, I saw all the profile pics.
Guy,
like,
I didn't see
nobody was blocked. Nobody got.
You know when a babe like is trying to like curve a guy on sale. Maybe you see like after the conversation, you see blocked or something. There was none of that, bro. Like, the conversation kept on going after that PG gets. And like, I don't blame them. Like, they have money. Like, they have experience.
The babes that respect are the babes that they say before I am. Just know that we touched. Let's not be like, I'm insane too. It was there for the taking and I took it.
Yeah, the ones that are doing that civil war.
General, like, I don't like why do guys come to pretend? Like, if you know that you were still on that, why are you coming to be? I saw him having a full conversation with the guy about the fact he was married. You think he doesn't know? Why are you answering him?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Do you know what's so crazy? There was one where, like, a babe, like, the guy was messaging the babe. The babe now said, I thought, I didn't know you were married. And she now said, he was not like, oh, I have a friend in her. She now said, what about your children? I have friends in them too.
Yeah, won't ever said I'm shy.
No, dude, what the
guy? Everybody say, yeah, I'm shy.
No, there was one where like, a babe came and I said, oh, how come you didn't tell me I was married? I wanted to, but she now said, but what? You say you don't like guys that talk too much.
Guy, bro, she said, I heard you were married. He was like, that depends on you.
Guy, bro. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, man. Like,
I could believe it.
no, I couldn't believe it, yeah, but like seeing it actually was just like.
Do you know something that's so crazy? Yeah? So like, there was this story I heard from somebody, right, where there's this babe, and then there's like another babe who apparently like is like popping on Insta, right? Cool. So the first babe, right, like apparently, I think her parents are like separated or whatever. No, actually, no, her parents are not separated. My bad. She and her dad, like apparently, like her dad has this complex in Lekki. And like she would like throw house parties in the complex, but like obviously she would ask her dad first. So the babe that's on Insta, the popping babe on Insta, right, apparently had already slept with this babe's boyfriend. Calm. You know, charge it, cool, happens, all right, cool. The babe now wants to throw a party. She asks her dad, because apparently that period her dad isn't around. So she now goes and she's just like, oh, dad, can I throw a party? And her dad was like, oh, not this weekend. But she was just like, man, I think she was in a mood. So she just went to the complex and she found the Insta babe inside that apartment. Wait, that's not where it ends. So with all of that, right, she's not like basically like, what the fuck? So she now goes to her dad and it's not like, what was this babe doing inside the complex? I was like, oh, apparently like she has a client for him, blah, 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 blah. Calm. Obviously the babe didn't buy it, right? The babe didn't buy it, right? So she now at one point like got her dad's phone when like they were together, and like she went through her dad's phone and went through his messages with the babe on Insta. And guy, first of all, she saw her dad's news, fam. That was one.
Bro.
Let's keep it with that. Two.
Guys, seeing your dad's news is crazy.
That's one.
Oh my
two, yeah. Like, she now like clocked, because there were times where like maybe she would ask her dad for money and her dad would be like, I'll get it to you. Like maybe ordinarily her dad would send it to her that same day, but like he would now send it maybe a day or two after. Guy, it was because he had sent her babe the money. Guy.
I want to ask you guys something based off of what Chikudi just said, because it begs the question. Yeah. It's funny, to the married man reason is your pops. Now, what's your move, I mean?
Bro.
Is your move? Some guys will hear you blackmail. So anything I want in this life, I don't dare you to say no. That's one. Two, are you coming clean to your mom? Or three, do you make your dad come clean to your mom?
I feel like most Nigerian men don't care. Like, how you and your mom?
Because you actually do yourself.
Because most moms already know.
Fair enough.
Guys. Yeah, so what are you going to yarn?
Yeah, actually just do yourself.
This is not like, we're not white, bro. Like, they're going to keep out the house.
Where does it come from? And two, like, what then is the point of marriage? In a typical traditional Nigerian setting.
That's where my mind, like, this whole thing, that's where my mind went to, like, you know what that wedding we went for?
Yeah. Which one? We've been to 2 this year.
The one we just went for.
Oh, okay.
After the wedding, the after party, I was like, this is the end. These guys are... No, that genuinely, this is the end. Like,
it's only 6 hours.
Then I was driving home, like, these guys are married. Like, dead ass. Like, I was so sad, bro. I don't know why I was sad. I'm like, in my head, marriage is this, like, crazy thing that I can't even see myself entering, because there's so many
just
stories.
Even the event of it all, like a wedding is insane too.
Guy, like, after that day, you actually with this person for the rest of your life contracts.
Yeah.
And guys, everybody has witnessed this. You can't see, you can't gaslight guys.
And it's just crazy because you hear all these things, like, you've done all of this, you have your wife, you probably have kids, and you're still going to do all of this with another woman or different woman, and you're still brazen about it. Like, there's some guys that like, they just throw their phone and the chat is there, their children can see it. Like, so many of my friends have come to me and be like, this is I just saw this on my dad's phone,
bro.
Like, how many,
bro?
I can't even count how many at this point,
bro.
And it's so crazy because they don't even care, bro. Like, it's just on their phone,
bro.
Bro,
I know somebody in this Lagos. I won't say his name, But guy, that same P where his dad had a guest house and it's just women like coming and going. And his own growth, like romantically, has been so stunted because his idea of what love should be is so distorted. Like he doesn't know. And that's his dad. Like he still sees him as that guy. Like that respect is still there. Like he doesn't know how to separate the two things. And you see that marriage.
But do you know what's crazy? I think a lot of this also stems from like a lot of like people in, especially our parents' generations. Like I feel like as a guy, once you clock 30 at that point, it was like, all right, it's time for you to go and have a wife, you know, some kids, blah 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 blah. So a lot, not all people, but a lot of people marry just because like it's that stage of life. It's something to do, if that makes sense. Another thing as well, which I feel like, and this is me, I guess, playing devil's advocate as well, is like a lot of like, how do I put it? A lot of love, even if you initially married for love, is lost in marriages. That's one. And two, I think like if you actually sit some dads down, right, to have like convos about these P's, like not even just about maybe they're cheating or whatever, but what is the issue between you and mom? Do you get what I mean? Like, guy, you're like, can't lie, bro. Your mom is not innocent in all of this. I'm really thinking about that.
Let's talk about the problem. What is the problem? We can walk through it.
Nah, man. Cause like if you set out to watch like some like I don't know, like even though obviously it's not real, but like Half Marginal, for example, now, right? Let's say your daddy is doing all right for himself, cool, like whatever, but he has this friend that is a baller, and like, let's say, okay, so let me make it real closer. So let's say I'm doing okay for myself, you know, making, let's say, whatever, let's say like 2M a month, whatever, cool. But Chidi is at this stage doing better than me, maybe doing like 6M a month, right? Cool. So obviously, if we're both married, Chidi can afford to get something for his wife that I might not be able to afford at that point. And because we're all in the same circle, whatever, guy, your wife is seeing that, and she's like, you know, all it takes is one bad day in the office. Okay. Your wife is like, that's why you're useless. Look at your friend Chidi. He's buying this for his wife.
Do you know the problem? Oh. Do you know the problem? The problem is a lot of people, generally, not even just women, a lot of people don't know how to, what's the word? They don't know how to bring something down to their level. So what I mean by that is, if your nigga has 6M and he buys you something worth 1M, it's not the same as if a nigga with 2M buys you something worth 500k.
Gotcha.
Because 500k is 25%. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's not even that he necessarily had that 500k to spend, but where it came from. Yeah. And then it now snowballs into this niggas throwing money at babes. Yeah. Because that's
a different call.
It's a problem solver. Like you see, you're talking too much, keep quiet, kind of like just take it, be done. Yeah. And a lot of women also don't know how to like, what's the alternative? Like, if I actually left this situation, I'm just hypothetically, if I actually left this situation, like, what's actually out there for me? This is what I know, and like, it's the only P of a bird in hand and all of that. Even back to what you were saying before about love. This is a bit controversial. Guys have their views. I'm a firm believer in the fact that you can cheat on somebody and still love them. We'll get into that. No. I'll tell you what.
I don't totally disagree.
Let me. Cool. I believe that because I believe that it comes from a lack of respect, not a lack of love. I think that for me personally, this is me, RIZZ speaking. I prioritize respect over love because sometimes love is a lot more flimsy. The emotions that get you to love a person initially and then see who that person is later down the line, it can go either way, right? But the respect that you have for someone, to where if I was to tell my mom, for example, that my dad was cheating, he would feel away because he has respect for her. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a lack of respect for your significant other and also by extension your children that makes it so you don't send if she knows. Like you're doing it in secret. So, in fact, you're not even doing it in secret. You're doing it in private. Those are two different. If they ask you,
Okay, I'm not going to come to the house with her, but
that lack of respect, usually created by a fundamental gap in finances, is the biggest issue you find in any marriage dynamic you come across in Nigeria and other places.
But do you think that lack of respect? I understand what you're saying, because economically, typically, right, a lot of husbands and wives, like, the earning power is usually quite different.
Yeah.
But do you think if, like, women were earning more, like, the cheating would reduce?
Here's my issue.
I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say already. I know what you're going to say.
I'm a traditional man, right?
Okay.
That's not to say, I'm a traditional. Well, I like to say that I'm a traditional. That's not to say that, like, I won't do untraditional things.
Okay.
So I don't mind, not in the actual sense of the word, but I don't mind being a stay-at-home husband, for example.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't mean I'm not working.
Yeah.
But I believe so much in not necessarily 50-50, but everybody doing the entirety of their percentage, whatever that percentage is, right? So even if I'm 60 or 40, you need to do that 40 like it's your 100. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that.
Cool. So that's what I believe in. I find that, traditionally speaking, one, when a man likes a woman slightly more, that's best, ideally.
Yeah, that's what.
Two, when a man earns slightly more or however much more than his wife, I also find that is the best dynamic. Not in terms of practicals, but because of who men are as people, as human beings. That insecurity that exists from a woman being able to tell you to shut up, and so you have to shut up. You don't have the brain. A lot of niggas can't handle it, and that's why I feel like even if ideally it makes more sense for a woman to earn more than you, if you start telling yourself in your head that she's telling herself that she earns more, like it just causes issues that shouldn't exist.
The thing what you said, what you said, I'm going back to the marriage thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why I feel like marriage is a scam for men. And let me tell you why. Because as a man here, realistically, the most bread you're going to make is when you're like 50, 60. That's when you see the most money for most niggas. And it's like, imagine you're getting like, let's say, in a world where you're getting like 15 M a year, dollars. And like,
Amen.
you're getting 15 M a year. And you're like, and when you reach that level here, you're exposed to so many things. And those so many things include so many women. And it's like, you're seeing so many women, and you finally have the ability to, because when you're like 20, 30, even many 30-year-olds don't have that financial ability to keep a woman and get any woman they want. But you reach that level where you can finally get all these women. But it's like, you're married, you have kids. Ideally, you can't. Most of these married men in their 50s, it's when they have money to buy those wigs, take you on those trips. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, like, fucking man, I'm doing it now. Like, I worked so hard for how many 50 years of my life to reach this point. And like, I can do all these things, but it's like, bro, you're married though. But it's like, that's why I see like marriage for men, especially, like, it doesn't make sense, because most men at that point in their lives, this is the time for them to enjoy what they've worked for. But they really can't, because it's like, I'm married. I'm going back to your plans. I'm not defending like what they're doing. I'm just saying, giving like an example of why I feel like they do what they do.
You're expanding the conversation.
Yeah. But like, why I feel like if you cheat on someone, you don't love them, because you're talking about respect. I feel like love and respect go together. Like, I can't love you and say I don't respect you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So if you like physically cheat on me with someone else, you cannot come and say you love me. Well, I cheated on you, but I still love you, man. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like it doesn't register in my brain.
I don't think it goes both ways. So like, I agree with you that they're together. I believe that you cannot love somebody and not respect them.
Yeah.
But I also believe that if love is absent, respect can still be present. That is what I also believe exists in a lot of children's relationships with their dads.
Yeah,
a lot of kids don't love their dads, but
they respect
only respect P as the head of this house is there, is present. Do you get? That's why I also feel like when love, unfortunately, takes itself out of the equation in a marriage, in any dynamic whatsoever, what keeps you going to the point where you can even rediscover your love for somebody is
The respect.
the respect for, at the very least, the life you've built together. And a lot of men just don't have that. Like, and you can't really teach it. It's one of those things that it just, and that's also why, based on what you're saying, like a lot of men go through that midlife crisis.
Yeah,
because at that point, you're now reevaluating like where you are in life.
Yeah.
Should I have gotten married at this age? Should I have done that? But self-control is so important. If the bread you were making, you could only afford weed, right? And you make more bread, and now you're exposed to more things. So you're seeing coke, you're seeing LSD, it doesn't mean you should do those things. Do you know what I'm saying? But that self-control is so lacking.
Okay.
And it's, I don't know, man.
Nah, but at the same time, like, I hear what he's saying, because, how do I put it? As a guy, like, and I was thinking about this today, like, bro, most of your salary is for you. Like, a lot of our dads, like, in terms of what they use their salary on themselves for, is maybe like 10-15% of their income that goes to them. Because lots of our dads, especially because we're Igbo, like, you have family in the village, you're taking care of, you know, one project here, one project there, kids, your wife, all of that, cool. So, like, your money was never really like made for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, ever. Like, if you have a partner that earns, cool. Like, you can share some of that burden, but really, most of your money really was never going towards yourself. So, like, even on a, like, most dads, like, if you ask, like, there was a time I was asking, like, my dad, even one of my friends was also asking her dad, like, okay, you're in your 50s, what's something you would like when you retire, looking forward to? You know, she was expecting, I would like to travel here, I would like to do this. A lot of dads are so grounded in their work. It was like, I think it was like one like champagne or whatever he said he would like to drink. Like,
and that's favorable. That's actually fair.
Do you get what I mean? So, like, a lot, because like Chidi said, like, when you're in your 50s, like, before you get to that 50s where you get that money, like, a lot of it is just self-immersion in your work, like, towards a goal, towards a grind, towards a hustle. So, like, when you now finally get that ability, it's like being young again. Like, you want to try. It's like a kid in a candy store. Like, you want to try.
I can buy those candy now.
Do you know why? And I found that it's actually something in the mentality of Nigerian women. A lot of niggas don't have hobbies. And I thought it was just life gets in the way, like family, all this, whatever. So I had a conversation with a friend of mine one day. And she was like, why should the husband be having hobbies? Like, let's say that nigga is into art. I don't know what you do in spare time. Man, she said she'd rather die. Like, it should just be work, family, that's it. And so a lot of guys don't actually have hobbies outside of what they do, like, to give them that thing, that whatever it is that might just give you that sense of youth when you need it. Until now, it's, guy, man, I'm sitting down, I've seen my wife every day, I see my kids, I love them, boy. Every day, no time to myself. I don't take care of myself, I don't spend money on myself, really. Like, I don't travel, I don't read books, I don't like nothing.
But you know what's funny? People listen to this episode and be like, I can't kill you for that right now. I'm just trying to understand. Like, when I see a problem, I try to understand where niggas are coming from.
Because obviously, like, and I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's easy to go the knee-jerk reaction, which is, this is bad, then not even like examine it. But like, because the thing as well is, like, looking at it as well, guy, a lot of people stay married for a majority of their lives. So, like, if let's say you marry at 30 and you die at like 85, right? You've been married more of your life than you've not been.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I think a lot of it as well, like, becomes like stagnation. Like, you're seeing the same person every day, you're in a routine, you know, all of that. And I feel like with married men that move on to, like, you know, all these younger girls, it's like, it's something fresh. Like, especially if, like, how do I put it? Like, I don't want to say it's a challenge again, where it's like you're experiencing something new again, if that makes sense. Like, you feel rejuvenated, as opposed to, like, you're going back home every day. husband do light has finished, husband do school fees is coming up, husband do like, do you get what I mean? Like,
It's just hot.
Yeah, I also my friends that cheats normally, like.
He say something about you.
You don't have friends that cheat normally. But like they try to get. But I asked him like, why do you like do this? He's like, I said like, shit, I can't be eating rice every day. And I'm like,
Mix it up.
it was like he wants variety, and I'm like, I get what you're saying, but then just be single, bro. He's like,
But do you
I
know-
need that person as well.
do you know?
Because they love to have their cake and eat it.
I agree with you
Exactly.
completely. But do you know what's even crazy? I don't know about you guys, but personally, I've realized when I'm cuffed, babes are checking me more than when I'm single.
Therefore now, bro.
So like,
There's that relationship
This guy
like.
come to arcade.
Yeah, dude, I asked a babe about that thing, and they told me because they feel like when you're in a relationship, you're more level-headed rather than when you're single.
I agree.
And you're giving up all those husband
Yeah,
policies.
women just love what they can't have, bro.
Men do as well.
Everybody does.
Who's worse?
Yeah?
Who's worse?
Women.
Women are never worse. Women are more likely to be successful.
You know, women have the best PR in this world. Such a PR. Niggas that cheese. Bro, the way women cheese, oh my god.
But it's classy though. It's classy.
You will never find out.
This,
Bro,
you will never
if
find
there's a
out.
married woman
It's
race,
not classy, it's just like less messy.
if there's like a married woman's race story, there will be nothing in it.
Guy, I don't know how they do it, bro. Like,
Bro, you probably be saved as Bonnie the carpenter or something
yeah,
like that.
like, bro, like the way they cheese is like, and you know, the problem is, women can easily post those screenshots on Twitter that day.
Yeah.
Men are not posting those things.
Never.
Because we're less messy.
Yeah, like,
Women are,
I
women
feel
are smart, bro.
No, women are smart, and men also like are less likely to
Snitch.
stress you, like snitch you.
Yeah.
Because like a woman that knows I have a wife, 2 kids, is more likely to yarn than me messing with a woman that has husband. Like, first of all, like, you know, if like you mess with a married woman in Lagos, like a man married, 2 kids is messing with a babe, like that babe is more likely to snitch than me,
yeah, exactly.
a single guy messing with a married woman, husband, 2 kids. Because guy, imagine like, let's just say like you fuck like Tinubu's wife. Guy, are you living to see the weekend? Like,
So on that though, like, do you not feel like you're the kind of nigga to step to a guy? Or like, come home. I have to paint you guys a picture. Come home. You see the guy behind you from the balcony. You kill that nigga there.
I feel like the reason why I would even do it isn't because like I hate stress. Like anything that seems like it's going to
Julie, that's
like,
your woman, bro. Your
It's
wife,
not.
the mother of your children.
like
I feel like I'm- I feel like-
are you talking about like if like I mess with a married man's
No.
wife?
You come home.
You're fucking your woman, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and you find
somebody
out.
has to die now.
Do you know, I have a perfect reply. When I enter that room, I'll just leave them. I'll find out. So I'm hearing the sounds already when I enter the house. I'm going to get a gun. I'll get a gun. I'll enter the room, put it on my head. I'm killing myself. No, I'm killing myself because everybody has to feel something, bro. Because
What's going on?
yeah, that's so crazy, man.
You made me after like few minutes.
You guys remember when I said no respect?
Hey.
That's the pinnacle.
Bro. But yeah, man, that's really a scenario like I can never, bro. Like that's so crazy. Well, I think you asked the question before, but like cheating in a marriage,
Yeah, is it a deal breaker for you
is
guys?
it a deal breaker, man?
Like, is it one and done?
It depends on what stage of the marriage we're in.
5
Yeah,
years.
20 years.
No, 5
okay,
years.
5 years.
In fact, let's hear it, right? I'm not going to do first year of marriage, because first year of marriage, anybody cheating, you're not serious. But first 5 years, is it a deal breaker for you? In 5 years, you definitely have a life together. More likely than not, you have at least 1 kid.
How old is that kid?
In a 5-year marriage, that kid could be 2,
3.
maybe 2 with another one on the way. Something like that. Actually, not another one on the way,
Bro,
because
do you
imagine
know-
she's cheating and she's
Yeah,
pregnant.
that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
Another one of the
so,
women.
but like, you have at least 1 kid, and that kid is 2. Is marriage a deal breaker?
I feel like in that situation, I would leave just because the child probably will not remember what it was like to have two of us together. So they are less likely to be affected. I feel I'm less likely to leave like if it's longer. So let's say like 20 years in, like we have like an 18, a 16, and like maybe like a 13-year-old, right? Cool. In that situation, like mentally the marriage is done, but like I am less likely to live in that situation just because, like, at least, how do I put it? I used to be that person, but for the kids.
Fair enough.
Do you get what I mean?
Bro, I feel like cheating and having an affair, they're like two different things.
Fair enough.
I get
I get that.
Having an affair, you're fucking the same guy for at least a year.
Ongoing.
Yeah.
And I've probably asked you about that person.
Yeah.
And that's probably someone I even know.
Yeah.
You get that's one I can't like.
Guy,
Jesus Christ.
Guy, I can't run mad.
Guy, but the thing is, marriage, man. Like, it's easy to say you're going to dip. It's so easy. The easy answer is going to be like, oh, I'm going to leave. But I know so many people, so many men that have been cheated on and failed.
I wouldn't
Niggas stay more than me. And the thing is, I just think it's a pride thing.
That, and for some men, you finally have something over your wife. So it changes the power dynamic in your relationship. Some men love that shit as well.
Nah, but the thing is, like, how do I put it?
But it's fucked from there, though.
But how do I put it right? Like,
It's a full fucked.
I feel like if you have something over your wife, like maybe initially you should be like apologetic or whatever. But
It reaches a point.
It reaches a guy. Babes are not really that accountable. Like,
No.
like it reaches a point.
Let's not get into that.
It reaches a point that you people will fight and
It's
then she'll
true.
just be like, and this is why I cheated on you. Like,
But can you say that?
Me? Therefore. If I'm married?
Yeah.
Guy,
Yeah,
do
ourselves,
you know the way I am, and I mean, whether or
you cheat
not
back?
it's fucked, no, whether or not it's fucked, like the way my mind works. While I know it's not my fault, is there anything I could do differently to prevent that? Because I don't feel like married. I'm not speaking for them. I was going to speak for everybody.
No, I get what you're
Typically,
saying.
I don't feel like married people wake up one day and they're like, you know what, today I'm going to cheat. Do you get what I mean? Sometimes somebody catches you at the perfect time.
God.
So, like randomly, you get upset, for example, that your husband doesn't buy you flowers, right? Very, very random. And then, for whatever reason, on this day, some guy in your office decided, oh, let me get you flowers. Just something very remote. Me, in my head, it's like, it's fucked up that you cheated fair. But why in the first place didn't I get you flowers? Do you get? And that's not to say that it won't solve the problems. But my mind, when it comes to marriage, is so one and done that you have to. And that's just the first time.
Yeah.
Repeated behavior. Yeah, man. You have to.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
How do you know that first time was our first time?
As far as I know, first time.
To his knowledge, that's all that's that. But like,
It scares me, man.
but yeah, it's scary, and at the same time as well, like I hear what you're saying, and I agree like that because I feel like most of us would think, oh, how do I put it? What did I miss, or what could I have done so that we wouldn't get here? But at the same time, it's like, how do I put it? Do you really want to be with a partner where, let's say, for example, now, right? My own is I'm upset that my wife doesn't really like cooking for me. Like she doesn't. Let's say this is 5 years in, she's not cooking for me like she was in year one. Right? So let's put it like that. Cool. And then there's this babe, let's say at the office or whatever. Every time brings me a meal. Right. Cool. I'm like, oh, thank you, and that gets us to talking, and then from there it's like, all of a sudden I feel, what's the word, happier when I'm around her than with my wife. And the thing is, like,
Now I'm working long hours.
yeah. And then what now happens is, if you notice, like in most relationships, you're right, it's never really one issue. It starts off as one issue and then it starts multiplying and piling up. So like in your head, you now feel like, oh, you're happier with this new woman than you are your wife. Fair enough. Does that mean anytime I'm unhappy, like, because in a situation like what you just painted, right? Let's say, okay, I'm thinking, what would now come to my head is, okay, next time she's upset about something, is she just going to go and cheat? And it's different as well if, let's say, we've had that conversation a few times that, oh, husband, I would like flowers or
Yeah.
whatever. But let's say she's never communicated it to you just based on she saw some Insta video about some babe that got flowers or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, if he really cared, he would. I wouldn't need to prompt him. Do you get, like, these are the...
I have a friend that says, when I say this thing, if they listen to this episode, they know that it's them I'm talking about. I don't like giving this nigga his flowers, but every once in a while, he spits. He says that, why would you leave a sure thing, like something you already know, for grass you think is greener? And, yeah, man, this babe on this one thing that you think is better for you than in your marriage or in whatever dynamic that you have, it doesn't speak to everything else, right?
Exactly.
Is she a good mother? Right, it's fair enough. This child, is she a good mother? Are you not compatible? What's her religion like? What's her family relationship like? Like, she knows you're married. Does it say something about her that this is what she's doing? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's so many other things for you to start thinking that the grass is actually greener.
And that's why, like, I feel like most of these married men, like, they can say anything they want about their wives, yeah, but like, they are good mothers.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can never take away
some.
Yeah.
But like, you can't take away that fact. So that's why they can fuck all the women they want, but they always come back because they know that, like,
You know where home is at.
but it's like so fucked though, because it's like, how can I? That's what I'm saying. Like, marriage to me is so crazy because how can I have it at the back of my mind and still trust somebody that, like, if we're going through a bad, because it's never just a day, it can be a month or two.
Yeah.
Do you get
A bad period.
If I'm going through a bad period with my wife, I'm not going to think like, shit, is she going to like go out?
Bro,
is she going to do
they
this?
say today.
Or reverse, like, am I going to do the same thing?
I want to ask you guys a question, Let's say your wife doesn't cheat on you, like, but she comes to you and she's like, I'm not happy in this as is. I want to open up the marriage.
My bro. Please, you have to I can't talk.
Bro, do you know, if she says she wants an open
I ain't
relationship,
ready.
she wants an open relationship, like, she might as well just fuck the guy in front of me. Like, genuinely,
At that point.
at that point, because it doesn't make any fucking
We
sense.
literally had this conversation the other
Bro,
day.
open relationship is crazy.
I believe that an open relationship, polyamory, polygamy, I believe that all of it is born out of greed and the inherent nature of human beings to want to have their cake and eat it.
You believe in monogamy though?
That's a different conversation.
It's a serious conversation. It's a serious conversation.
I started off today by saying that I'm a traditional man.
So you believe
I'm
in
a one woman type guy.
Alright.
I do think that there's several like, I don't know how to explain. Like, there's multiple one woman for you. I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
So, like,
at one time, I'm with one woman. GS.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that that's the woman
woman,
necessarily, or that's the only woman. GS.
Yeah.
Like, a marriage can end, and you can still find the love of your life. GS. But as far as, like, let's open up the bro. Do you know what?
Open up.
Do you know what? Love.
Yeah, exactly.
Done. Like, what else is there?
What are we doing?
So
It's so
I have
simple.
a question here. Would you rather that convo or you find out she's cheating on
I
you?
found out she's cheating.
I'd rather, bro,
I'd rather
find out in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd rather my whole family find out same thing as me.
That's wild.
Open relationship, that means she does not give a fuck. Bro! Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm done.
Nah.
I don't know if you guys have watched that whole past movie, because that's exactly what
That's what I'm thinking about.
God,
Nah. I'm cool though. I'm cool. I'm icy.
Okay. Now here's
I'm not secure enough
Now
for that.
here's the other P, right? Let's say for whatever reason, like maybe her libido is down or whatever, calm, and she hands you, she's not gonna do anything, but you can go fuck other women. Just don't bring it home. Don't make it messy. Because some wives have that agreement with their husbands as well.
That's
Are you taking that? Chidi, answer first.
First of all, that's wrong, because I will not take that offer.
Really?
And I'll tell you why. Because
It's a trap, bro.
Secondly, like, me, when I fuck women, I'm not just fucking you because you're attractive. you have to actually like vibe. If I'm vibing with another woman, I'm not going to give that same energy to my wife anymore. Do you get? So if she tells me, "Oh, go and fuck other woman," let's not just end the marriage.
Fair enough.
Do you get? Because there's no point.
To build on that point though, there was a tweet the other day, and the guy was like that. Ever since him and his wife had their first child, she doesn't want to have more children.
Seriously.
And by extension, they don't have sex anymore.
Yeah.
And it's driving him insane.
Yeah.
What should he do? And I'm asking you, lot. What should
I
he
think
do?
I said he should just cheat. I think I said that. and I said this. Obviously, I was bantering, but like, what are you meant to do in that position?
I feel like in a situation, and how do I put this right? I think oftentimes like people forget that in a relationship or in a marriage, you're not just going there to meet your partner's needs. You have to have your needs met. So if your partner is well and truly like withholding sex from you, see, I would have a conversation with my partner and be like, see, wagwan, like first let me explain why this is let me understand why this is happening. If can't lie, you're telling me something I don't think makes sense, I'll be like, can't lie, you have to jazz up. Unless this is not really this is not
jazz up is crazy.
like
What are you doing?
no, like
Come on, man.
no. Like you either have to jazz up or like this is not really moving forward. Do you know what I mean?
Jazz up is so
Because I think what I would say, like, especially if like, because jokes aside, like I try to be very understanding and very like open to compromise, right? So like, let's say before we had our first child, we're doing it like every day. I don't expect us to go back to doing it every day, but I also don't expect us to be doing it 0 days. Like, let's say, can we start like 3 days?
Compromise.
Like compromise, right? She doesn't want to meet anywhere that makes sense for both of us, right? I can't lie, at that point, I think I'll just say something cryptic like, whatever happens from this point.
I might be misremembering, but in Nigeria, as far as I know, that's grounds to end your marriage. Like literally, if your wife doesn't want to,
that's consummation.
No,
I think there's also another one where if your wife does not like with withholding of something.
Withholding of conjugal.
I forget what it is.
I know what you're talking about. But basically, if your wife ain't acting like a wife,
it's grounds to end your marriage, bro.
Yeah, but like
in Niger, as far as I know, in Niger.
It's a sticky one because she can't control her libido sometimes, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
for years,
bro.
Unless my understanding of the way that works is not what it's supposed to be. I'm talking about for years.
But even if some men can't do a month, do you get?
I feel like
some guys can even do a week.
I feel like a conversation needs to be had.
It does.
But what is your move if she tells you Z, but you can step out?
I step out. Can't lie.
I can't step out.
No, I would. I'll be so real with you. I would. Like,
I'm just saying, like, you can't wait.
If she tells me I don't know when, that's different too. I will never. Those are two different. If she says I don't know when, but let's watch. Calm. I'm there with you. But if she says never step out, I'm stepping. Like. I'm still.
That's actually fair.
Yeah, that's so scary, man. I can't. Like, go on.
No, man, because if I'm just there, I know I'll be so unhappy. I'm a very passive aggressive person when I'm like unhappy. Like, guy, I dare her to cook me food that doesn't taste nice. Like,
can we try now? Like, now everything is magnified.
Everything is magnified.
I guess you just be so fucking upset.
I think that marriage just introduces you to so many types of issues you never
thought about, bro.
You could have. Like, and it's scary.
No, I was sorry to cut you. Like, I was telling someone this I said, see, a marriage is like getting a new family member, but the only difference is, and not on any incestualship, but you're sleeping with this family member. Like, because obviously I grew up in a house with brothers, right? So to me, my understanding of it is like, yeah, imagine just being in a confined space with somebody for like 50 plus years. Like, you're coming home, you're seeing them every day. Same way, like, sometimes you're glad to see your sibling, sometimes you're not.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes your sibling does maybe the littlest thing that annoys you. Sometimes, you pick your battles and like maybe they've done some big shit and you're like, like, cool. you guys have happy moments, you guys have down moments. Like, to me, that's how I see it. That's why, I don't know about you guys, but personally, when I get married, I'm not saying I would sleep in separate rooms, but I have to have my own space.
Yeah, we have to. I'm going to have separate rooms. We should sleep.
No, we'll sleep together, but I need a space where I can go to where, like...
I find that doesn't actually work.
What?
In the same house. No space in the house is your space.
Fair.
It's never ever... Like, let's say if you guys are racking, and you go there because you think, like, there's a force field at the door that's going to prevent guys from... Bro, that smoke is following you in it. Yeah. So, like, what you guys are saying, do you think it works better? Not better, but... Like, let's say you're not home because of your work, Monday to Friday. You come back on the weekends. Do you feel like you don't have these problems?
I don't
because
think
those marriages have... I feel like marriage doesn't matter whether you're seeing them every day or not.
I don't think you don't have those problems.
Your relationship.
I don't think you don't have those problems. I think, how do I put it? You don't have them as frequently because you guys aren't seeing as frequently.
Yeah, imagine me don't see my wife every day though.
But following up on what you just said about seeing everybody the same, like every day for 50 years.
Bro, I'd rather be pissed at you seeing every day.
than not seeing you at all.
No, I'm the kind of person that, like, I need my own space after a while. So, like, I'm not saying like, I would go like, but I can go like maybe a day without seeing my wife and I'll be fine.
No, I can't. I'm so sorry.
That's fair, actually. Like, so one day is crazy.
One day is crazy.
Even if it's FaceTime.
No. What I mean by seeing her is aspect physically.
Oh, physically, okay.
But also in line with that, the conversation that came up recently is how a lot of people in Nigeria that get married don't live together first.
Well, yes, that's a very
what do you guys think
important topic.
What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, why am I getting married to you if, like, I don't know what you're like as a living partner? Do you go, like...
I do you know that many people found that crazy, like living with your partner before you get married?
No, I understand it because, like...
I don't understand.
When I say I understand it, I don't mean, like... How do I put it? I understand in terms of that is how things were done before. So, like, I would understand why what we're saying would be, especially, it's because it's usually older people when you tell them this, that, like, it's wild to them. So that's what I'm saying. I understand it because to them, that was their reality. Do you get what I mean? But, like, bro... Why like, imagine this person, you don't know what their cleanliness is like, hygiene is like, movement is like, all of that is like, and you go from you guys are dating, it's cute, all of that, calm, to this person now. Can you imagine if they are messy, they are smelly, they are this,
and there's no way for you to run home to anymore because it's two of you guys.
You guys are talking about messy, but like, my own thing is like, how is the dynamic when we fight? And we're living with each other?
That's a good one, actually.
Like, how do you react to conflicts? Because
if we're in the same space,
it's different over FaceTime.
Like, you're angry with me,
but we are still
like,
the same.
What are the little things you're still doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
How
do you react? Like, what are the things you say? Because over FaceTime, you can just cause.
The worst thing you can do is live with a passive aggressive person. Like,
I can be, but I'm working on it.
Yeah,
I feel like most people are passive aggressive.
There was a TikTok the other day of that babe, like, she was doing this thing where her and her mom were fighting, but like, she was in the kitchen and she was trying to reach for something.
Yeah, he was helping.
And then pulled up, like, God, that's the purest, like, form of love I can think of.
When you're angry,
what you're saying, like, everything you say is under control. So your emotions don't actually move. And, like, let's say you want to get food now, and you still get food for them. You guys are not yanning, you're squeezing your face, you're doing shaggy, all these hands, and then guys are back to normal after, man.
No, I agree with that. Like, I feel like you should still be able to be loving when you're upset. Like, that person might not be your favorite person in that moment, but, like, you can be loving. But how do I put this as well, right? A part of me is also like, what is now the disincentive to make sure this person doesn't do it again? Because, like, imagine, okay, let's say now, and I agree with you, okay, let's say you go out, you get food, you still get food for them, blah, blah, blah. You know how babes are, like, she'll start thinking, oh, this is so cute, my boyfriend was obsessed with me and he still got me food. So next time, like, she's, like, you guys are in a thing and, like, she's about to piss you off, she's not really going to think twice because, how do I put it? Okay, he won't speak to me for a bit, but eventually he'll come around. Kind of thing. It's different because if you notice, when a babe is obsessed with you, you will beg. Do you get what I mean? So
I don't beg.
No, I'm not saying you personally, but like
What
Most-
you doing? Why
I'm
not?
begging.
Why not?
Nah, let me beg you,
Niggas be
man.
begging, man.
No,
Niggas
for
be
real,
begging.
like when I
Niggas be begging.
but like to me that's just something like
I feel like I
think
get what you're
about.
saying, but like my wife is not a child. I don't have to discipline her. Like I don't have. I get what you're not discipline, but I know what you're saying. I feel like if you're angry at me, we have a conversation. That's the end. I don't have to be.
Bro, I hate leaving
restricted.
stuff. I
don't
hate
have to-
leaving stuff overnight. Like,
I don't have to teach you a lesson before you. Because if I have to teach you a lesson before you learn, then you're not mature enough for me.
No, but like how do I put it right? You guys are coming from different realities and different experiences. So there are some things simply one conversation can fix. There are some things where one convo really won't. There are some things like, especially initially when like it's the first time this issue is popping up, she might not even see where you're coming from, or let's say vice versa, she's the one with the issue. Like, for example, let me just use something trivial. A babe is upset that her man didn't get her flowers. Some guys might perceive it like it's just flowers. Like, why are you tripping? Like, it's so far removed for them to even like start to reason what's going on. And there are issues like that will pop up. Do you get what I mean? So it's how do you sort out that kind of people? Maybe a babe that like that comes from a very like high strung environment where once you're angry words start flying. Do you get what I mean?
yeah.
And like in her family, maybe that's how they express themselves. And one convo, I'm sorry, all of that is fixed. But for maybe if the guy is sensitive, like I hear you're sorry, but at the same time, like what you said, do you get what I mean?
A lot of people today do not know how to love who they're with. They try to love the idea of who they want that person to be.
That's the perfect answer to your question.
And back to
Bars.
That's the
back
perfect
to the
answer to
thing
your
about
question.
conversations and like some things take one and some things take more than one. I find conversations to be more singular, but a series of conversations becomes dialogue. And if that channel is open in your relationship, there is no problem in this life that you actually can't work through. But it's just that people's idea, like if I know, for example, that, and this might be a me thing, whatever, I'm a very like love specific person. So the way people say, oh, this person has this love language or whatever, it's so necessary for you to cater the love you give someone to what their idea of love is. So like my biggest issue with guys, for example, in the example you gave about flowers, I'm not the sort of nigga to buy flowers. But if I know
Your babe.
that getting flowers for my babe,
Is what will make her happy.
guy, like I'm so nigga that buys flowers. You get?
No, I get what
I
you
don't send my birthday, but if I know that this babe, guy, just the smallest gift or something, that's it. But if you keep doing one size fits all, guy, nothing is ever gonna fit, bro. So that's
Exactly.
And I think that's like, I feel like we'll just wrap up like this topic here. It's just like people can't stomach the fact that like maybe they think someone is cool or like they're infatuated by whatever, by somebody, but accept the fact that you can't give someone love the way they want it. Like, let me speak from a guy's perspective, my personal perspective. I've met a lot of babes I thought like were cool and all of that, but I think like maybe part of like my maturing process is that like there are some babes that genuinely I can't really offer the kind of love they're looking for, because some babes, and I'm sure this is also true for men, their idea of love is chaos. And like I'm just not naturally a chaotic person. Like I can't consciously manufacture chaos on a consistent level for somebody. Like it's either it won't be chaotic enough or it will be too chaotic. Like I don't have the
that sweet spot.
that sweet spot for it.
Yeah.
So like you just
love language is very important, and it's something I realized like growing up, being in relationships and like dating people, is like the love language, and they're also different things, because the love language you give and the love language you receive are also different as well. So knowing those things and like talking to your partner and like, because if you do not establish those things and just going based on vibes or she looks nice, it's always going to end badly, man.
Nah, I hear that, but like you said, based on like obviously a lot of your perspective is based on the people you've been with. So I just want to ask, have you been with an older woman?
In case you guys didn't hear, Chukudi asked Chidi if he's been with that other woman.
Yeah, I've been with like, I feel like most of my relationships, no relationships, dating life has been like older women.
How much older?
Like the max I've done before.
Just what you range.
Chidi, have you ever been with anybody your age or a bit younger?
Yeah.
What I mean is, because even her,
Yeah.
she was a few days older than you. I'm talking about.
off.
No, what I
Fuck
mean is, have you actually been with anybody that was
Younger.
like,
Yeah, take it piss.
yeah?
I have actually, but once, and it did end well. I just generally like fuck with older women more because I feel like they're more like mature.
I knew you were going to say that.
Not mature in terms of like, I feel like babes are usually like mature normally, but like in terms of like, especially sexually as well, I don't have to be teaching them what to do and like how to do it. Like niggas be liking to teach. I don't like teaching them.
But the fact that they're older age-wise doesn't mean they're experienced. So is it that you like experience or you like older women with experience? Because
you just talk about older women.
I know, I understand. Trust me, I understand.
I don't know what it is, man. Like I just feel like I think that's just my thing. I don't know what the reason is, but I just feel like they're just more fun for me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I have been, but like, how do I put it? From my personal experience, like, it's sweet at first, but there's a lot of stress that comes with older women. Particularly, I think the first thing that I notice is like, Chidi, let me know if I'm right, but like, there's usually a point when you're speaking with an older woman and then she like clocks out, like you guys have the convo about age and all of that, right? And then she goes, "Oh, you're so mature for someone your age." Like, it feels like once that sentence is said, like, it's kind of like you have to, quote and unquote, prove yourself to her, if that makes sense. Like, "Oh, I'm mature," like making it like, okay, yeah, do you get what I mean? This is something that's worth your while. And like, I'm at a point where like, genuinely, I don't care about proving about, all of that. So to me, older, younger, it doesn't really make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. I don't really have a preference, if that makes sense. But as long as I'm having fun with you and like, there's a good vibe and connection there, cool. But there's, like I said, I think I prefer someone around my age brackets, if that makes sense. How about you?
What about me?
Have you been with an older woman? And what's your experience like?
Let's do both ways. The purest form of love I received came from an older woman.
That's what I'm saying.
I also feel like it's because they've transcended all the immediate issues that we currently have. She wasn't looking for money. She wasn't looking for who buy her wig. She wasn't looking for who take her to Mako.
She's done that shit.
Yeah, I hear that.
All she was looking for was company outside of all those things, right? And there's just something as a guy, ego-wise, when you make someone older than you laugh, for example. Or you connect on something that is not time-bound, or like just things like that.
Yeah.
The other side of that is, because we're so exposed now, it's so hard for you not to read certain things as grooming. I can't, like, because I know stuff now, right? Back when everything was happening, and we had that conversation, had that conversation about age. She knew that it was wrong. I knew that it was wrong. We all knew that it was wrong. But there are things that she will now say where it's like a couple more, because I was 16 at the time, for example. So she's like, a couple more years and like, years, like things like that. And in my head, I'm like, that's no fresh.
Wow.
That's no pure. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
in the moment you were chopping this,
no, but like,
when the way you look back,
as an example,
another
example that sort of gassed me up, but I'm also realizing was fucked up. My sister's friend, and Uzo, if you're listening, it wasn't me, it was her. What's
the age difference between you and that?
So at the time, the age difference it wasn't crazy. It was like 4 or 5 years, but it was a very fragile 4 or 5 years. I had to have been like 17, 18, and she was like 23. And it was that coupled with the fact that it was my sister's friend.
Yeah.
So that age was like multiplied.
Yeah.
Like it's just worse.
Yeah.
worst of it all is that like she was super aggressive about it. Do you get? And in my mind, I was the fucking guy. Do you get? Like I had hands, like I wasn't doing too much, but guys are just on my page. You get? And like there's some times when like I'll be texting her on the phone and my sister's in front of me. And in my mind, I'm like, you don't even know. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. And I've come to realize, like, what she did wasn't do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where, that line to draw, that's why I feel like now being with older women is not the same as being with older women back in the day. Yeah. Now you're making a lot more informed decisions. And if you're in a secure place as a man, like, it's cool, man. Yeah. But what's your guys' age range? Like, what's the absolute limit in terms of older and younger that you would date?
I feel like... So I'm about to turn 24. So I would say for me, like 21 to like 24.
That's the same. We'll get back to that. Cheap.
For my lower, I can't do past 23. Okay, I can do 22. But I can't do past 22.
Oh, what?
There's no limit. Wait.
That went too quick off the door.
I can't do 50-year-old, bro.
I was just literally just about to ask you.
I'm so serious.
Do you know, I just see this thing. Every time, like, my mom speaks to us about, like, oh, you're bringing a woman home, she always goes, don't bring your mother home.
Bro, I can't marry you. I can genuinely for
50.
Not for date.
Dates?
Yes.
I'm talking about dating.
Yes.
I can't answer that question because I'm not in the mindset of dating right now. So I don't know which one I can do.
Oh my God, twinsies.
Yeah,
so
I just answered.
24, 21, you can never date a woman older than you.
24 is older than me at this present moment.
Can you
I can't. I feel like 25.
So you can't do 30.
That's where dates.
Sorry.
That's where like being in a relationship with a 30-year-old. No, like unless like I'm doing it for the XP and not for love.
For the what?
Experience.
I couldn't believe that he said it.
No, I feel you know, like you have to do it for the plus, man. You don't do it because like, I
have a story to tell.
Like that's my new story. I have to do this. I have to, bro. Like
what for you?
For me, it's like if I die before I meet, I'll be hungry.
Fair. That's fair.
Like genuinely.
What about you? What's your age range?
For this, or just for
kids? We had this conversation. Younger, like I really don't see below 1 year. Like for me, max 22.
Yeah, max 22.
Because I find that 21 and below, they're in such different points in their lives.
I always tell people this: women don't start having sense till they turn 21. I don't know about us men, me too. I didn't have
That's
sense.
Such a crazy state.
No, but like, no. I'll be so real. I've said this to a lot of babes, and they agree.
Yeah, because it's crazy because babes don't keep mature faster than boys.
Actually, it makes sense.
If they don't,
like the way you said it sounded crazy, but it makes sense.
Guys, like
that's means when you talk to a 21-year-old before,
bro, like 21 and down.
There's some exceptions, though. Okay, but I was even saying like, how often in my life, day to day now, would I run into a 21-year-old person enough to have a conversation with them to get to the point?
Yeah, especially now that I'm out of
you.
No, but I'm saying enough to have a full-blown conversation, get their number, their friends. And I know they're 21. Not like I go out of my way. I'm talking about like just with who you generally surround yourself with. I feel like it's very difficult for you to not only meet a 21-year-old, but like interact with them enough for it to materialize into something. And then older, I therefore have a limit. I'm not like you. But guy, 35.
You're 40.
Yeah, I not 5 years. 40, it just has a weight. Bro, the way 21-year-olds are different points. Yeah, like 40-year-olds, bro. 35, I feel like they might still even be like at the back end of what I'm just getting.
I can't lie, and I'll be so real with you guys, right? At this age I am at now, if like I was vibing with a 35-year-old, even though like, I can't lie, obviously it's an ego stroke and everything, in my head, something would be telling me, maybe it's a voice of reason, there's a reason why you're still here.
I feel like that's the reverse argument for when we talk about babes who date older guys, or like older guys. Like,
but like, bro,
it's taking.
Like, how do I, like, bro, at that age, not 30 or 35, I feel like either, unless you made the decision, the conscious decision that you don't want to get married. No, if you don't want to get married, cool. But like, if you've made it clear you want to get married and all of that, but like at that age, you're pushing 40 and still unmarried. I'm not saying you are the problem, but you're part of it. And like,
Do you know what it could be? It could be a reluctance to lower your standards. And so, over time, like, you start off really high. Yeah. And then time goes by and people get married and you start reevaluating what is important to you. So like, earlier on, you might not prioritize kids as much. You get a bit older and it's like, my window to have kids is closing. So like, your priorities change and so your choice of partners also changes. Yeah. Or some women don't do that. So they start off high and they stay high. I'm not saying across the board, but generally. So, guy, man, if you haven't found what you're looking for, man, it doesn't
I agree with you completely. But like, this is where I'm going to be so real. Don't get me wrong. I'm confident as fuck, right? But if you're 35 and you're quote unquote having high standards and it's me, you're juvie, you're dating, can't lie, you're a fraud.
To be fair, point on me, eh?
No, but like, as a 75-year-old,
you know who she's looking for? Huh? You know who she's looking for?
That's what I'm saying. Like, no, that's what I'm saying. In something like that, I know it's for the plot. It's not like, I'm saying, like, I think I'm going to end up with this person.
Let me defend my older woman. Yeah. I've defend my babes. Do you know what I'm saying? I just feel like, I think people look for different things. And I feel like the women I've talked to, anytime they talk to me and they're older, there's this sense of like, this guy is different from what I'm used to.
What do you think the older men are telling the younger babes?
No, that's fair. But I'm just saying, like, if I'm different from what you're used to, you're going to gravitate towards that difference or that thing you've not had for a while. And it's like, because they want that shit, they're going to get it. Do you get what I'm saying? So
that's right.
They're going to get it. So it's like, I just feel like, if you're used to, if you're dating a class of men, 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds, and you're not getting what you want, and you go lower, and you find that thing, what's the problem? Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you not think that at a certain point, human beings should start having cut-off ages where, like, it's not as predatory? Because what if the thing, I get that, but what if the thing you like, the thing that's different that you like in this person is the fact that they are where they are in their lives? And so you can exercise a bit more control over them.
I also think as well, like, just because we have to wrap up now, but I also think as well, just to like touch on that point, is I feel like a lot of older people who are into people that are substantially younger than them, be it whatever, is usually because that younger person is more impressed by them as opposed to someone that's your peer. Like a 30-year-old man, like, sure, like the impressive 30-year-old, but he's not going to be as impressed by a 30-year-old babe as, let's say, like a 22-year-old guy talking to a 30-year-old babe. Like, it's the quote-unquote power dynamics. Like, you sort of pedestalize that older person. Even with babes and older men, it's the same thing. So, it is just what it is.
As we wrap up, something must kill you, man.
Nah, real.
It's what it is, man.
Nah, real.
Something must kill you, man.
That's a crazy last thing.
Nah, for real. Nah, man.
Lots of my older women, though.
Love, bro. No, Zizi, I'm changing.
Why?
I'm changing, bro.
Why?
Guys, it's like, I want something different.
Guys.
She want younger, bitch.
She want younger, bro. You daddy. Whatever they pop in your mind right now, you're
you know what's so funny here? Sorry, last thing. Yeah. But like, there's so many things that used to happen when we were younger. And we just grew old.
Bro,
you realize
deep how fucked.
I'm blocking that.
Oh my god.
We mentioned it earlier now.
Bro, what guys were doing when we were
so fucked, man.
Guy grooming like.
But do you know what's insane? I think our stars sometimes that we went and old boys.
Guy.
I really so serious, bro, because I feel like
I'm so serious.
Niggas got saved from themselves.
Like what happened in 2018, for example. I'm not saying that like across the board everybody was absolved, but it was significantly less likely.
Yeah.
Guy. So sometimes I actually think
like
I hear what you're saying. But now, RIZZ, it's been great having you on the podcast.
Good to be here, man.
Guys, we definitely have to have you. We definitely have to have you back
for
again,
sure,
man.
man.
For real, man. But I just also wanted to say, you guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Yes, we're those guys now.
Fuck. That's so crazy. Those
I never
guys-
thought I'd be here. I'm happy to be here.
These guys now, man, it's crazy.
Now, but until next time.